Hi, it's Drew, like usual. And today I wanted to talk about the saying that I've heard a lot of other people give over, and that is the saying, well, a lot of people, not really saying, it's a statement, have been telling a lot of artists, people, the saying goes basically, but you don't look autistic, which is like, it kind of puzzled me to a certain extent. Haven't really had people telling me that myself. And if people didn't know, I do have autism, which is no surprise to anybody. Uh, but like, they get told like, but you don't look autistic, and then people don't wonder like, what does an artist look like? And I decided that okay, then who better is it but me than to answer this question? And therefore I will be able to try and look as autistic as I possibly could. And how would I achieve that? Well, because I was just thinking, right? Uh, how what is making autism you look? How would they make you look different? Like it just seems to be a lot of stereotyping. Like does it mean you always look down? Because a lot of artists don't like eye contact. I personally do. It just exhausts me. So I basically just go like this after a while. If I made eye contact with someone for long, because I like it, but it just exhausts me very quickly, so I just get tired. Um, so I guess it does not affect everybody the same, which is the same with basically any disorder actually. It's almost no disorder that affects everyone who has it the same. Um, that's why I call it the spectrum disorder. Basically, it should be the case for almost any disorder, but that's not the point of this video. That video is coming up later. I think, not sure, possibly. But it's to say, how do you look autistic, right? Basically, a lot of people might stereotype it as like a teenage boy with no sense of fashion, which seems to be a stereotype. When you just think about what would be the stereotype, which is my guess. And I said like, okay, let's just go with an actual traits, autism traits, and how they would affect your looks, right? Right? If you could look autistic, how would that be a thing? How would that? And then I would tell, blah blah blah. I can't talk. It's another trait. If you didn't know that, it's difficult to verbally communicate. I have a hard time doing that. But that's okay. Just the way it is. So basically, like, I was thinking that a lot of things are comfortable with autism. Like if you have a lot of things on that bothers you, that's more so than most other people. There's a very common trait of autism. It's almost universal, I think. So I decided, and I decided to think comfortable clothes, which I do have. A comfortable shirt. This shirt is very comfy. I think so. It looks very. Yeah, it's my former school shirt. I love it. I like burgundy. Basically, like a lot of artists don't like to have clothes with a lot of patterns, right? And some can't even have that. I can, and I have a lot of that over there. If you can see, I like patterns. And many do. It's not like you have to not like that. But so I was thinking that if you're going to look autistic, then you have a plain shirt with only one motive, which is almost a plain shirt. The reason why I didn't choose anything else is because I quite have an elaborate system of clothing that I might actually show people when I'm just at it. Like, if you think about it, here's my shirt wall that I love so much, right? The shirt wall is basically like, yeah, it's like, here is, look, you basically have these shirts, and whenever a shirt is out of place, I usually want to take it, and then I just want to wear it. That's my system of clothing. Which I don't know if that have anything to do with autism, but a lot of people might think it does. So let's just say it might have to. You see, the communication part, speaking is quite a lot of much more focused than it does for normal people. So basically, one example of a shirt is plain shirt, which I almost have. All the other ones is in the closet over there, because I like these other elaborate shirts to be on display because they're very pretty. And that's the reason why I have this system of chat. And that's why I didn't pick the plain chat for this video, which I intended to. So basically, like, that's a way you look autistic, right? You have a plain chat, right? It almost looks like I have that. And also, like, having hair in my neck bothers me. If you do have autism, a lot of things, a lot of sensations bothers you, depending on the severity. And for me, that means I don't like hair in my neck. Short hair, I don't like to have my hair in my face or in anything. Like, a very, very common, very comfortable thing if you have autism is you like short hair. And a basket is like the most comfortable hair that basically takes a lot of, it takes away a lot of energy. If you touch your hair and then you feel like your hand is getting like dirty because you haven't washed your hair in a day. And also stuff like that you don't like whenever your hair, if your hair is longer, you can just get something stuck in it and that gets stuck in your hair, in your hand, and then it's uncomfortable, and we experience sensation much more than other people. To me, if you have autism, a lot of people think it's very much more comfortable to have short hair. A basket is the most comfortable hairstyle ever, and I definitely think that's related to autism, absolutely. Another thing that I don't like to do is shaving. I hate shaving. I think it's very uncomfortable. And I also think to have long beards is very uncomfortable, just as long hair is uncomfortable. Which is the most comfortable look I could have is to have a beard that is short. And short hair. It's not like it's not like I'm like, oh, this looks great. Okay, I think it looks great, right? But that's not the reason why I look like this. I look like this because, partly because I like the way it looks, but also because it looks very comfortable. Another trait is that I feel a lot of light is very sensitive to light, right? And that is why a lot of artists like to have sunglasses. Fortunately, we have anti-blue light glasses, which is a little bit much better because you don't want to be in darkness. At least I don't. That's like more of a recent thing that's been coming up now. That you have anti-blue light glasses. Like, I have perfect vision. It's just that it could be uncomfortable with all the sensations of light when you have autism. And that's the reason why I find it very comfortable to have these blue light glasses. I like to have these blue light glasses and this short hair and unshaven, because that just makes everything much more comfortable. Way more so than for neurotypical people, so to speak. Or technically just normal people, or whatever. I'm probably going to talk about that in a different video. But basically, like, other things that is very comfortable is if you think about it, like, it's like my pants, right? Like, to me, look, I always have my pants. I have my pants like, yeah, it's like I have my shirt inside my pants, and my pants are like very comfortable, like they're sweatpants. I always want to wear sweatpants. I don't like to wear jeans or like other clothes. It's not very comfortable. Now that is definitely related to autism. That it's less comfortable to wear like certain clothes that are very stiff. Like, you like the soft clothes, right? Because the sensation is more. So therefore, soft clothes is the way to go. It's way more comfortable. Because because you have autism, right? But like, all the sensations are too much, and then if you have soft, plain clothes, that's the most comfortable clothes. I don't get distracted from like things on my clothes, like patterns or like marks, but many autists do, and that's why they don't like that. So they don't wear that. I on the other hand, I like it. I just have my system of clothing. But what I do care about is if the shirt is soft, because it's very important. Otherwise, it just feels very intense. The same if your pants are very stiff. Like, sweatpants and soft shirts are like the best. One thing that sucks though is that I don't wear one that is like very difficult to wear short sleeves, right? Because you do feel heat and coldness a little bit more. But that might be for another reason. I feel that too. So that's just adding to it, right? Like, if you look my arms, they're not very big. They're very small arms. Like, I have very tiny arms. And because of that, like, you get cold easier if you're skinny. like I am, but autism makes it feel cold stronger, and the same heat, and I might actually feel temperature shift stronger because of another reason, but let's not go into that. Um, but so that's the reason why long sleeves are comfortable, too, because it makes you not cold, right? So having a plain shirt that is one color and have long sleeves in combination with all the other looks that I have now would be very then I guess you can technically look autistic if you because you basically take autism and all the things that the ways affect you, and you dress to make the thing to make it as easy as for you as possible. A lot of people will say like, well, but all people feel a lot of these things, right? Well, yeah, but all normal people don't feel it to the same extent. We feel a lot more of it, and that's why you probably can get like a sensory overload from clothes, and I don't really have that much of a problem with that, but many other artists do. Uh, and yeah, so that's basically my trait. You don't look, do I look autistic enough now? And if someone were to look at me, then they probably would say, yeah, he kind of looks autistic. But I don't know how that would. Okay, it kind of explained why that would make sense, right? But I don't think the majority of people who say you don't look autistic actually know much about it. They think about the stereotype of that like geeky boy who weren't very sociable, which is a stereotype because the majority of autists either are male, but there is another diagnosis of female population, so they might just be closer to even, but I don't think it's completely even. And it's also due to autism might actually affect, it doesn't affect all males more than all females, but it tends to, at least to my knowledge, generally affect males a little bit more. But there are so many autistic women that are way more severe symptoms than I do, so it's not an absolute rule, and nobody should ever take it as such. So yeah, when people say like, oh, you don't look autistic, well, you can look however, you can look any way you look, because some artists might have a fixation about dressing a certain way all the time, and that can actually be very pattern-like, and it could be a lot of jeans that have short sleeves and short pants, right? And that can just be the way they like to, and they feel comfortable and don't want to change it ever, because some artists don't want to change their clothes because they're stuck in their ways, which is fine. I'm not like that. I like to change clothes a lot. I think that's something I like the most. I really enjoy that. But I do also have these sensory issues that makes sensory problems a thing. And skin issues. You don't like shaving, you don't like long hair. This is extremely comfortable, and that makes me be able to do things, because I do find it hard to do things, like, because you cannot passively do, you have to focus much more, it's harder. And you get very easily distracted by outside stimuli, and if you basically, yeah, you want to get something done, you don't want things to distracting you, and if you minimize this by this hair, and these glasses, and to have soft clothes and sweatpants, right? Then like it's not, that's like a good thing to do. Like it's a good thing. It's very productive. It's like, a positive thing, right? It makes the day go easier. But I would say that it's not a requirement for me. It's just something I like. And many other artists have way more problems with these things. Like, I'm not as severely affected by autism as many other people are, but many other people do have autism, and they have less issues than I do, right? They have way more fun with having their having like longer hair. Like, it doesn't have to be beard or head hair. It could be both or neither. And I'm completely fine with shaving. Like, and some have like no problems at all with like do not like to wear blue light glasses or sunglasses. Like, it's very individual, right? it really depends on the individual. It depends on the person, and it's not a universal. But these traits that I just listed are all autistic traits that are non-universal. I guess the sensory thing is universal, but it's very varied, and where that sensory overload would affect you. Like, I think loud noise hurt, for example, which is quite severely affectable. But you can, some people have autism would like sit like with things above the ear all the time. Like, I can't barely have headphones because it hurts. The sensory overload is too much. That's why when I talk to people, like, I never wear headphones. It just, I don't even like to listen to music outside for too long because it hurts my head, my ear. Like, I don't like that. But I still like the music, so I can do it to a certain point before it gets too much. And that's basically how I feel about that. And I'm just speaking in this video about how you can look autistic, right? And most people don't know that when they say you don't look autistic. Because they used to have the stereotype. But if I were to say that it's technically possible to look autistic, right? But you can't tell that someone has autism by looking at him or her, because not all autists have the same problems. And if someone have a problem that means that you want to cut yourself like this, not cut yourself like this, just cutting yourself like this, you get it, and have these glasses and certain clothes, and yeah, that could be because of autism, but there's not a universal. You can't tell if somebody is autistic just by looking at them, because somebody could look like this because they just like the way it looks and have bad visions. I do like the way it looks, to be honest, so it gets to me a little bit of an overlap, but it's definitely also due to autism. Like, then that's a lot of things. A lot of people dress a certain way because of autism, I suppose. I don't know how many or to what proportion, but it is common. I don't know if it's common actually, but it's something that some people do. And actually, some people might dress a certain way because they like it and don't even know it's because of autism. You know, because if that was comfortable for you, and that was because you have autism, and you like it because it's comfortable for you, you might not have made the connection that that's because of autism. Does that make sense? Right. So yeah, this is basically just me recording a video about to say you don't look autistic. And people should stop telling people they don't look autistic, because, as I said several times, you do not know if somebody have autism just by looking at them. That's not how it works. And even if somebody behaves autistic, it needs to be for another reason, you know. So don't just like tell that people don't look autistic when they say they have autism. It's just weird. Especially that most people who do that don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Right. But I decided to take that saying and basically say like, what would be, how would looking autistic even be? Well, guess I will explain that now. So I hope this was enjoyable for some people on the internet. And bye for now.